Namaskar, good evening. Suraj Singh back to you for something left. Last video was interrupted due to technical reasons, so I stopped at page 54 of concrete specifications I was talking of. I'll continue later on that file. Very important file, very new items have been covered in that, and this is I thought to continue with general talk. You guys for this and for this in general, maybe for 1 hour I talk again. I'm sorry, last video is just so. This happens usually due to, I think, I don't know, reason behind that, maybe signal slaps or something, it happens, so no problem. We have to live with this kind of deficiency in service of media. What to say then? No other way out to speak. Let's continue with management, professional organization. As I talked yesterday, I want to continue that expression to all my colleagues in public. More important is public for me, not colleagues, because colleagues know everything, but public needs know everything about this. Which reason I may like to say public, I'm using very simple English so that general public can understand. In Hindi, if I talk, it restricts myself to certain areas of this country, while I want to talk to public of whole world and also public of this country, Bharat, India, including North, South, East, West and Northwest. Those people must get benefit of this. Not only I can't speak in Hindi, but that's very limited. So I am trying to use media of simple English to converse with people of this country. Engineering, civil engineering particularly, which is root of development. It's root of like a tree, civil engineering is like a tree, and civil engineering means national builder, and civil engineering means if civil engineering supported by all semi-professionals, professionals and others, working class workforce we call. It is very important that those people know their skills very well, and engineers know their skills very well. As I always claim and try to explain that exclusive educational certificate are okay, are fine for admission into engineering profession, but performance pays heavily, and if you cannot perform means you have to devote yourself, you have to dedicate yourself to field of engineering by hearts and by soul. It's like letter and spirit, we say. Whatever is learned, whatever is written, whatever is documented should be respected in letters and spirit. It's no otherwise. There's no other way we can avoid that point. Letter and spirit are very important for such type of professional engineering. When we say professional engineering means expertise in engineering. We get expertise by formal training of education in engineering and job training, and by continuous practice of activities and systems and projects. In a couple of years, every engineer becomes master of field work or design work. Master doesn't mean master degree. Master means more important than master's degree, because there is a responsibility factor, obligation factor, and person who is responsible means accountable itself. That point, if we do not take into consideration, we as engineers do not do justice to ourselves, and if we do not give credit to those who work with us, they may be whatever class, all must be given due credit. That's called leadership quality. If we want credit to ourselves, then we don't do justice to our profession. And our codes of ethics of institution of engineering itself says that credit must be given to those to whom it's due. So that's very simple. and no one can challenge it. That if I work and if I seek credit, everybody who works even at level of very small helper or guard even, that employee seeks some credit. That point we have to understand as a part of analytical understanding of human resources. And all equipment those we use in our field, big equipment or small equipment, tools or plants, whatever, must be given due maintenance and upkeep, so that life of such machines and equipment is automatically upgraded or increased and depreciation value is reduced. Otherwise, if a machine that should work for 5 years, if it is deteriorated in 3 years, this means some lacuna exists. People do not care for that. Being a project manager or project organizer or project responsible agent, while you visit site or walk through sites, you should keep clear watch on every resource, human resource, machine resource, material resource, or whatsoever, delivery made equipments, everything comes in that, duly stored in, protected from weather, particularly machines, those electrical machines, mechanical equipments. These are very expensive items, and we have to keep in our view that our areas of working or sites are always kept good housekeeping, like tidy management. Tidy it should be, or not untidy. It should be in such a way maintained every day that no accident may happen. It's not necessary you fall from height. Even sometime a nail that pierces soul of a person is also a drawback. That person whom that nail pinches in, first of all, there is septic problem, and another problem is that person keeps off work for a couple of days. So indirectly or directly, this is your loss. Your resource is lost just because nail punctures into soul of a person, even that person wears safety shoes. These are very important points. I have seen some people, of course, due to temperature problem or due to some other problem, these people avoid, these workers avoid wearing hard hats. It's not acceptable to me. Yes, you have a problem, I know, temperature problem, but temperature problem can be accepted, digested, but life is more important. Life safety is more important than temperature. Okay, for temperature, you can take liquid, you can take tea, you can take whatever you deserve or desire. That can be provided on site, or you take a good food and frequent intake of water according to safety requirements, so that sunstroke or dehydration is prevented. As a part of safety, health and environment engineering, of course, integrated part of. It's an integrated part of site work, site disciplines. So we should be very careful in understanding all those. And if we fail, we lose our resources. Whatever resources, it's your resource. When you are in charge as site engineer or site agent or site manager or organizer, or you may be your subcontractor. It's your money, it's your resource, it's your time, and don't think each minute counts. Each minute counts on every project. Just like you waste time in gossiping or you check your drawings, that's up to you. How do you move? It's up to you. Nobody would tell you when you are in charge, you are responsible. You are. You do not need an instruction for everything. Yes, you have to instruct yourself. You have to get that command your way. If you can't command your way, you are not competent. Command means, I don't say you give all commands in one day. You have to study everything, which is much more significant than doing. Once you do, you decide what have to do, the implementation doesn't take much time. Important point is communication. How can you communicate your instructions? Your instructions depending on drawings and specification. What way you converse with your juniors, foremen, general foremen, etc. And to what best explanation you make to them. And that explanation is transferred to site, charge hand and artisans. There are many artisans who are experienced and they understand drawings also. And if you can't communicate to them, then you have to go to yourself and explain to them. And this means you are not having capacity for communication. And here what I say, communication is very important part of field engineering. Field engineering, office engineering, design engineering, and to say at least or everywhere communication weighs more than what you think. You may think I would do it. Yes, you may think you may do it. But when you do it, question is that. Consideration is when you do it, means you should be pre-planned. You should be busy in doing homework. Because you have to submit reports also in advance to responsible consultants, or if you are consultants, you have to submit reports to all, and you have to collect reports from executives. But you should know what you need. Means you can't expect explanations from professionals, senior professionals all time. If you have to submit look ahead program, say 3 months look ahead program, 1 month look ahead program, or 3 weeks look ahead program, or 1 week look ahead program, you should know where you are going to attack your workshop. What is your scope of work in that duration? And if you can't know that, and you can know only when you are clear of that. If you are not clear, then you cannot move. Means here what's required? Self-communication or concentration is required. You have to concentrate everywhere, in drawings, in coordination of drawings, in specifications, in coordination of specifications, in shop drawing, in working drawings, and charting out your program, and if required, to raise technical queries and engineering queries. Generally, technical queries are created based on clashes within drawings, while engineering queries are created raised based on engineering demands or field clarifications. So mostly, as a construction engineer, you are linked to raising technical queries to designers, those who do not give clear definition of or clear drilling out of designs, or there are certain clashes that come in among various drawings. Those are natural. Sometimes structural drawings and other drawings, architectural drawings, do not talk to each other. So we have to ensure that whatever architect drawing says, and whatever structural engineering drawing says, and whatever services drawing says, all should be together on same page. And if they are not, then who is responsible for that has to answer on that question. That's called clarification, or amendment or modification required, that is to be done. But who shall raise this question? It is site construction person who is responsible for construction is required to raise such questions before it is too late. You cannot say that tomorrow I have to work this and today this is my query, clarify this. No, that's not correct way. You are required to give due time to that designer as well or that consultant as well to undergo that, because it's not your alone query, there may be other queries too. So you should a foreviewer, you should be a visionary, temporary visionary, short-term visionary. I'm not saying 1 year visionary, just maybe for 1 week or 1 month maximum. You should know what one obstruction is expected in this slab, what problems are coming in this column. There may be dowels and not dowels of this connection, or whatever is going to be difficulty in this while doing construction. Is it constructible or buildable thoroughly, or there is some obstruction you expect to come in? If you get that point into your mind and you raise timely issue, I think you are best engineer. If you can, of course, in beginning there may be some difficulty because you may not be that efficient, but once you start with, then you will move all and all. And you will get feedback also from site guys, junior engineers or those who work with you. And even if you don't get feedback, you are responsible. So, site is not a paper boat, it's a real boat. You have to sail in, and you can sail in only when you concentrate. And you say, no, I have 8 hours or 10 hours industrial practice time, then I think you are in wrong place. For construction engineer or civil engineer, 8 hours or 10 hours do not apply. You are like a doctor. When you have to pour concrete for a slab which may take 48 hours, or you may have to pour concrete of foundation of raft which may have to take 7 days sometimes, 5,000 cubic meters, 10,000 cubic meters, you have to pour. So you cannot bind yourself that you are going to work 8 hours or 10 hours a day. Yes, you may have supports, you may have rotation also, but don't forget, question of degree of responsibility lies with you. You have to respond to all problems. Until you control yourself with confidence, you can't sleep, remember. You lose sleep until your suspended slab is in pouring. Though it may not collapse, but still, mind is like that. Something will happen. It's not necessarily all time we use a standard system of support. Sometimes we compromise, okay, we use props or we use our own system. But you know what happens. It is risk always, and maybe your support sinks, your prop sinks, and it can lead to collapse of formwork. So who shall be in problem, do you know? Suppose your slab falls. It happens, collapse can happen, and once it happens, you know consequence of that. Consequence means if you are working in Dubai or UAE or else in Gulf, you will be welcome in jail. Do you want to visit that? That's what I am saying, that it is very risky. Design engineer may not share that responsibility immediately when there's a collapse of formwork, because design hasn't started working till that time. So it is site expert that owns that responsibility. Even contractor may not be responsible, because you signed that slab, your as a consultant or as an engineer, you sign that slab, not contractor. Yes, contractor is liable for accounts for this and for that, but here you are signing. That's very important point in organizational work, activity work. Sword hangs on you if you are careless, and that sword is both edged, not single edged. I'm not scaring you at all. You should understand that. Responsibility is responsibility. Knife is knife. That's what we say. In Arabic world they say, foreman should have many eyes. Some engineers in our world, what they usually say, that foreman should have many eyes, while engineer should have every eye. And because engineer surveillances from distance, he can surveillance better than foreman, because in front sometimes you cannot identify error. When you stand in front line, that we call front runners or front organizers, which are foreman, general foreman, charge hand, on front warriors on site, they may mistake but may not identify error. So from distance, when you go once or twice, you know what's in drawing, and by vision, by supervision, by just going a visit, you can find that error. It happens. I remember one instance. I was working on a record center, and you know what happened? Some bees, madhumakki, some bees formed their housing on that beam, one all beam which was completed, was ready for pour, but due to humidity or due to whatever reason, these bees created their home there, and people knew it, that it has happened. Somebody played with and tried to put some diesel on that, sprinkle diesel so that these bees could run away. And that caused problem. Of course, bees ran away by diesel, but this diesel oiled all steel in that beam. And you know what happens then. Can you accept that? As an engineer, point is that these steel, it was approved for pouring, everything was ready, but when we saw that, we stopped pouring. No, you have to take out this beam. This was decision made, you have to take out this beam. No way, no solution. Take out this beam and do it again, and do not use this steel anywhere on site. Throw it, discard it. And that engineer said, I'll check it. When you dispose this steel, I will check it, call me. Because question of trust. So this happens, my dear friends. Maybe you do not stick to quality in this country, it's different, I agree. But this country is not unique. If you do not stick to quality system, this means you are not doing engineering. You are not engineer at all. Purpose of engineering is to do best industrial work. But you are not doing. Why don't you do it? What's problem? You have to analyze yourself. I have analyzed. There is no problem as far as I am concerned. Problem lies somewhere else. Problem lies in cowardice. Problem lies in survivability. Problem lies that if I act, I'll be thrown out. Problem lies that I have to move with the stream. Problem lies that I have to be practical. That's problem. Oh, small goes on and on and on. No, no and no. You forget that quality means durability. Quality induces durability. Otherwise, there is no durability. If there is no durability, there is no concrete durable, then why are you doing that? What for you are there? My point is very simple. Then carpenter can do it, mason can do it. What's your role? If you do not make sure quality in concrete. You are engineer, I am engineer. You may be contractor, yes, I can be contractor. You can be consultant, I can be consultant. You can be designer and I can be designer. What does it mean? If designer does very good design, contractor takes good rate, and product is not good, what's the purpose of all this stays? No need of designer then, no need of contractor then. Let people do their way. Why to waste time, system time? We have to analyze. I don't care for government, I don't care for client. I care for activity, for material. Concrete is a material. It's not water alone. It's material to work for decades to come. It's not vegetable. It's not potato, tomato. It's not teacup. I drink and leave it. It's going to work for decades and decades and decades. So who is responsible? You say specifications are there. Yes, are there. Follow-up is not there. You trust those specifications which are decades old. What's the purpose of that? No purpose. Same thing is thought. What purpose is that? Nothing. Nothing. I have seen even transit mixers here supplying concrete. They are just throwing and running away. What's the purpose? No controls. Nobody checks. Nobody ensures quality. Sometimes I think I'm so angry that if I see that the designer or that chief or engineer of some project, I slap on him. So angry sometimes I feel, though it's not going to happen, feeling is like that you slap on him. Because if an engineer cannot think that way, it is right of an engineer to be angry. It's fundamental right of an engineer, and particularly civil engineer. Only engineer in the world who has a right to be angry, practically. And if you are not angry, then you cannot join civil engineering. Forget it. Don't join. If you say, I am very polished, I am diplomatic. No, we don't want to be diplomatic. Not at all. I don't consider civil engineering diplomatic. Because civil means civil. Yes, that's it. What is diplomacy? Lies. Totally lies means diplomacy. What diplomacy? We work with soil. We work with aggregate. We work with water. We work with sun. We work in rain. We work in cold. What do you mean by diplomacy? Yes, if your product is fine, your product is brilliant, you are diplomat. Because you can achieve goals. Goals actually you achieve, and these goals are declared by others that they achieved it. No problem. Let them declare. Fact is, after all, some engineer did it. I usually read notes in some sections that I am proud to be civil engineer, because when I see some city, I'm very proud. I feel proud. Oh, this is from civil engineering work. Yes, you have every right to be proud, but you have to see also how proud you are when you can't get quality work. How proud you feel. Do you ever think about that? Or what capacity you have to speak? You think about that? Or just passing a statement alone is enough? Hmm? That's what we think we should do. Other engineers are different. Mechanical engineers, because materials they get generally 90%, 80% is machines already produced in factory or industry. So their role is just installation or designs, not more than that. And they have to define parameters and they get design machines. So role of mechanical engineers is different in collaboration with others. Similarly, electrical engineers role is little wider than a mechanical engineer, because load balancing is to be done, load distribution is to be done. So that's different. For example, in a hospital building, there was a load calculation by one electrical engineer. So like 18,000 megawatt. Okay, I don't know how much, 18,000 kilowatt. Yes. So you can say that it's different responsibility, but basic responsibility of quality of building structure is shared and has to be shared, owned by civil engineer, construction and design engineer, because design engineer has to give best design and buildable design, not best alone, buildable design with all points kept in, not structural points alone, but also other points, intermingling points, architectural intermingling with structural and heat transfer, etc. So if design is very good, design is worth, then its implementation must be accordingly. And a structural designer has to keep in mind that it should be simple, executable, constructible, not very complicated, easily handleable, and good one. It's not necessary that it's simple in design, it can be complicated. And generally, what I think, we miss compaction of soil, very common. Every mason, every trades guy, and generally public think they are engineers. So good. You are engineers without anything, very good. But for God's sake, do not take compaction of foundation or formation level in your hands, because you do not know about foundation engineering, you do not know about soil engineering, and do not think that backfill is done by yourself is best one. Do not play with all this. You do not understand what is soil, you do not understand what is compaction, you do not understand meaning of compaction and consolidation, and for you it's like a game. Just pour 3 feet 4 feet soil and put some water on that and then say ram it. This is done, I have seen. I sometimes laugh, and people do not understand, and because they don't understand doesn't mean we should not care for that. It's really ridiculous. I have seen some company, Faridabad Smart City Limited, working here around. No quality, nothing, just a progress only. They have to give progress and take money. Whenever I saw them, I thought, why, what basis these engineers are working here? L&T, I am taking name simply because I hate that company, their quality, and many more such companies who are just interested without any planning, without anything doing job, and spoiling everything, spoiling site, excavation and leaving, and then Means you can't say some professionalism exists for them. You may go and see many more organizations as such which do not bother about anything. I am saying because I experienced that. And we should not fear speaking because it's our responsibility not only as an engineer but also as citizen of this country. After all, my money is going out from my taxes. Your money is going out from taxes. It's not Prime Minister's pocket or President's pocket. It's public money that's spent on projects. And even if this money is spent by promoter also takes it from bank, which is our money. So we have to protect ourselves by understanding reality. And it is only one professional in this country, that is called engineer civil, professional engineer civil or civil engineers, who deal with 70% of construction projects, or you can say budget on projects. It may be infrastructure project, it may be BP, or it may be buildings, or it may be whatever. If civil engineers act like timid people, just speaking, doing nothing, means why to bow others before others? Why? What for? It is in your hands. You are responsible for doing quality. Stop working, don't get quality. And particularly the government engineers, I'm telling. Of course, private are equally at fault. What for engineers are there? I don't understand. If you have to move with the stream, then you can never get quality in whole life. You get quality, first you understand quality. I have written many times on many posts, but I think culture of reading has gone, culture of writing has gone. People believe in talks, people believe in seminars, decoration, and nothing is reaching public. Engineering is not new now. We have millions of civil engineers in this country. And if technology, if quality doesn't reach common person, if it doesn't reach common citizen, it doesn't reach common user, what's purpose of engineering then? This means you are not interested in communication. You are not interested in educating people. Again and again I stress, go and see anywhere, everywhere, even in government projects or other projects, you will find all steel bars rusted, broadband, straightened again and used. I don't understand that theory, that practical. I am, you can say, innocent there, you can say. Rusted bars you are accepting as engineers and contractors. I don't understand your strength. You are so open. You're not afraid. You are paying money for rusted bars. Really astonishing. You pay money for unsystematic, non-systematic storage of steel, and nobody cares. No one cares. What to say, I don't know. No words on that. No words at all. Maybe I have taken many, I think many times I have shown to you all this. I don't want to show again and again, but it happened. I don't actually know what I say. I like to show some quality, means nonsense quality. Let us see. First, you can see some nonsense quality here, and I'll show one by one. Before also I have shown to you. Now I'll show you one by one. You may not get in this, but let us see now. Nonsense quality. You can see nonsense number one. This is nonsense. You can see what is this, This is called nonsense. And you see what type of work it is. You see yourself what type of work it is, you see. Then you go further and you see this work. Shame onto my country. Very shameful. Shameful attitude we have. What should I say? I weep on this. You see this? What sort of work is this? You can see this steel. This is a great project, big project, and you see how it's lying. This is international country. You can see that. Everybody will curse us. What sort of people they are? What sort of engineers they are? Means to whom you curse? To engineers, to contractors, or to whom? You can see how work is done. A new work like this, there's no finishing, nothing. Just left like that. You see new work like this, no finishing at all. No compaction, nothing. Just do it. God will compact for you. This is quality of work. You can see yourself. No compaction, formation level, nothing. Just do it and leave it. You can see people walk, the imprints are there. So let's see which one is this. Maybe I can go further. It's going okay. Let's go this way. So I think I have shown you many. Let me go to something else if there is something else with me. So I'm just trying to show you how we are doing, how we are working. We are nonsense people here. And here is I'm showing you something which I did myself. How many drawings I did it that? You can see that. How many drawings were done? You can see that drawing. You see, I see this way. This drawing, 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 drawing, this drawing. So many drawings in one building.